YouTube. I have had the unfortunate luck of having the worst travel experience traveling abroad for my birthday that I've ever had. And I'll say I'm to blame because I didn't Google correctly. So I wanted to make a video to, number one, inform of what I went through. Number two, in hopes that no one else has to go through this. So in case anybody else is as dumb as I am and don't Google correctly. So here we go. I decided to take a birthday trip to London. I tried to do it in 2020. Went through cheap tickets. Do not use cheap tickets. They are cheap, yes, they're good deals. They do not back, and customer service sucks. Was able to get a credit for the flight and the hotel. It could use within the next year. That year will be this year. So since we were able to travel, I booked it for this year. I thought I was taking my precautions, watching the CDC website, and the CDC said that we, United States amber, with amber colored, we would not be quarantined. Everything that I Googled said we would not be quarantined. I thought I went to the UK website, said we would not be quarantined as well. So I went on, I contacted my hotel, asked them a gazillion questions about views and accommodations. No one said anything about anything. So booked it. I think they made some revisions on the CDC website on July 16th. Everything was still the same. Went through my United prep, which United said there's a 3-step process. And this is where I say that things need to be changed. The first step is to do your test. Your test requires you to a 3-day PCR test, or 72 hours before you leave. You take that test, 72 hours, you're negative, you submit that. The second step is the most important step, which I think should be the first step, which is to fill out a passenger locator form. The reason why I say this is the most important step for those of us who don't Google correctly, it tells you, number one, that you'd have to be, though CDC says you're not going to be quarantined, you'll be quote-unquote isolated for 10 days. And it tells you that you need to purchase a testing kit to be delivered to your hotel. So that is a very important document that needs to be read fully, which is what we were not able to do. Our luck was we took the test, and it's a 24 to 48 hour results. We got our results the day of the flight. We read passenger locator form in the terminal during checkout. We were trying to get information on how to fill it out correctly. The United people, no problems with United. They know what they know. So the agent that I talked to was not aware. It's like, you don't do it to the best of your ability. So we did. We did it erroneously. We did the wrong thing, but it was enough to get us checked in. So we got checked in. When we got to London, we got stopped at the border control, which is where everything went to hell in a handbasket. That's where he then let us know that regardless of the CDC guidelines that I read, number one, we would have to be quarantined for 10 days, self-isolated for 10 days. That's number one. Number two, we have to purchase a 2 and 8 test kit. It's like, what is that? My first time hearing that. On all of my Googling, I didn't find that. So that's what I want to make you guys aware of. You have to purchase a 2 and 8, regardless of your time. Which I of course got frustrated with him. I'm like, we're only here for 7 days. Why would I need a 2 and 8? He said you have to purchase 2 and 8. He was very kind of rude with me, I guess, because I should have known. Dumb American. So you had to purchase a 2 and 8, no matter how long you're staying there. And then he told me that in order to be released, for you to leave, you have to purchase a 5-day release test kit that you take after 5 days, which is $100 or more. the 2 and 8 was $240. It's like, oh my God, this is all in the terminal. So that's why I said step 2 should be step 1, or if you Google correctly. But we were put in a bad situation to where we had to purchase it there. And that 2 and 8 kit is registered to your hotel. So it's sent to your hotel. Once you get the confirmation code, that's when they release you at the leaving. Which we end up, thank God, through Cheap Tickets wouldn't give us any help. We couldn't get any more credits. We couldn't get anything. They wouldn't turn anything around. Thank God we talked to a United agent the next morning. The United agent allowed us to take a trip home with no extra fees. But they told us that we needed to test to get on that flight. Now this is the funny part. Though you needed to buy a 2 and 8 ahead of time and then take a 5-day release, and all that equals $340, almost $400. When we're exiting, they said if you needed to exit or need to leave, you can be tested in the terminal. What? You can be tested in the terminal. How much is that? That's $30. Which makes absolutely no sense. Now this is something that you can't know until you get there. Why do you make us buy a 2 and 8? But it's for tracking purposes, and I understand that. Because the passenger locator form, you put your confirmation in once you get the 2 and 8, they track your whereabouts. We found out through all of the bookings that we had, in the rules and regulations, it said we would check your confirmation number from your 2 and 8 or from your testing kit so they can track you. So you can't, for self-isolating, you're not going to get away. The guy at the gate told me, if you don't abide by the self-isolation rules, if you try to, leave the hotel, you will be charged $10,000, up to $10,000, or go to jail. So I'm not a risk taker, so that's why I was like, let me just go ahead and go home. So at any rate, downstairs when you're leaving, you can take a $30 exit test or a $30 rapid test. If you can take that downstairs, why require you to take a 2 and 8? Why don't you just take a test in the facility, get that same confirmation, and track you? It's so much less problems. But I guess they want to be able to track you in your hotel. So that's why the 2 and 8 form should be purchased previously, so that they will know where you're going and be able to come to your hotel at any given time to make sure you're there. So that's why they say don't travel to the UK, period. Though the rules are going to be lifted on the 2nd. I talked to the gate agent. I was like, the rules are going to be lifted on the 2nd. Do I still have to? These are stipulations and rules. He basically said, this ain't America. You got to do what we say do. So, yeah. If I would have booked my trip on the 2nd, but granted, that did not come out till July 27th. So now, after after August 2nd, would be the best time to go. I unfortunately am screwed out of a lot of money. I unfortunately cannot get any of this back. Cheap Tickets has not been helpful at all. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know, if you're traveling to England, if you don't Google correctly, you have to buy a 2 and 8, regardless of the situation, until the 2nd. August 2nd, they said they are lifting all stipulations, all restrictions. So from now until August 2nd, you have to buy the 2 and 8 no matter how long you're there. You have to quarantine until the 2nd. And there's no way out of it. So, coming from a dumb American, a dumb Texan, I can't even say Google correctly because I thought I Googled right and I didn't. So, just having a horrible birthday, and I don't want anybody else to have the same luck, so that's why I made this video. So, Good luck, y'all, with your travels, and have a good one.